Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have one bad mamma jamma of an off-roader next to me. Is this vehicle right here. This is a Ford Bronco, but this isn't your regular Bronco. This is the Bronco Raptor. But before we get into this steroid-injected Bronco, let's talk about what's going on here. So yes, you heard correctly. Technically, this Bronco has another name. Bronco Raptor. Now, Raptor was first seen many years ago, millions of years ago, during the Jurassic time period. But now Raptor came back, the name came back in a big way, not necessarily for the dinosaur, but for the Ford F-150 Raptor. That was back in 2010. Eventually, Ford decided they want to expand the Raptor Performance Off-Road segment, and that's where we now have the Bronco Raptor. Also, don't forget, besides the F-150 Raptor, you have the Raptor R with the supercharged V8, and we also have now the Ranger Raptor. But back to this Bronco Raptor, already from the factory, from Michigan, it's pumped with steroids being a Bronco Raptor. But CJ Pony Parts has decided to take it to the next level. So what I want to find out is, if you are looking for an off-roading vehicle and you want to be able to mod it, is the Bronco Raptor the best way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see what's so special. Right off the bat, it's just menacing. Any Bronco Raptor, whether it's stock or has been modified like this one by CJ Pony Parts, is definitely going to get people's attention. Now, at the front of the business, you'll notice how we have painted fenders. So this is something that after the first year of introduction, you now can get a Bronco Raptor with painted fenders. And those fenders are unique to the Bronco Raptor. They're wider than any of the fenders on any other trim of the Bronco. Now, coming on over, you'll notice our LED lighting. We have our quadrant of LED headlights, that LED daytime running lamp, which is also your turn signal, and on a Bronco Raptor, this illuminates bright orange, whereas on a standard Bronco, it is that traditional bright white daytime running lamp. Now, working our way down, you're gonna notice that we have this modified custom stamped steel bumper. This is from a company called Deviate, and really I love the way it has the nice wide opening to cut down on some of the weight, but with that stamped steel, it's really gonna take one heck of a beating. Now, as we come across the front, you'll see the rest of the addition of that Deviate stamped steel front bumper. So you're gonna have your added brush bar with our KC LED driving lights. You'll notice the Deviate badge all cut into that stamped steel. I like the way they did the R, that bright R, since we do have a Raptor, that's that code orange. And you'll also see how when they designed this stamped steel front bumper, it really is perfect for a modified off-roading vehicle, because not only do you have your brush bar, you have a place to mount your driving lights, but you also have a place to mount your tow recovery hooks on both sides. Now, as we continue down, you're also gonna get that stamped steel skid plate from Deviate. It's all nice and clean on the design. It almost looks like it's all just one piece, but this is gonna help take a better beating. Plus, it looks freaking good sitting on the bottom of the belly of this beast. Now, as we kind of inch over, you have over 13 inches of ground clearance with this Bronco Raptor, and one of the ways that that is done is you have these Eibach springs. So specially tuned for the Bronco Raptor. They are wrapped around, see what I did there? Wrapped around those Fox live valve technology shock absorbers. That's gonna measure the off-road underneath you every nanosecond and adjust compression and rebound on the suspension. Look how beefy that lower control arm is. Jeez Louise. It looks like it's a piece right off the Brooklyn Bridge. But this is something that you will get from a Ford Bronco Raptor, but the addition of the Ibrox springs gives us a little extra height. Another thing I want to showcase is hidden up here, we have Oracle LED lighting. You could change this lighting. It's positioned throughout the whole vehicle. Change it from a remote control, all the colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv all day long on this Bronco Raptor. But let me know if you like the look, if you like the style. I also want to kind of come over here, just stay right there, and we're going to turn those lights on for you, because I hate it when the lights are not on, because as you can see now, the bright orange, you got your headlights, and because of the width of this thing, you're going to have the additional DOT required lights in the center. Forward-facing camera with a washer. And then up on that hood, you're gonna get your mega bulge. You're getting your mega bulge with a functional heat extractor. And I'm okay with it being flat black because that's gonna cut down on glare. Up top, across our roof rack, you'll notice those KC massive LED driving lamps. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? So this particular one has these fuel piston wheels, 17-inch wheel with fuel specific off-road tires. This is a 37-inch tire, 17-inch wheel. Love the nice intricate work, and it's kind of an extra special touch to have some painted gloss around the exterior edge, but then more of like a satin black. So you have the gloss painted black, but then the satin black on each of the spokes. And this wheel is called piston. It's a fuel piston spec wheel with those 37-inch tires. Zooming on in, Lori can show you the bird's eye view of the Ibrox spring. Remember, we showed you the other one on the driver's side, the upper control arm. And there really is no modification needed for that live valve shock absorber from Fox Racing, because Fox Racing is a known entity in off-roading. And I mean, they've had Fox suspension going all the way back to 2010 on the original F-150 Raptor. Now, on top of this, you're gonna notice that we have even more lighting. Love the way we got the LED driving lamps even built into our flat black mirror caps, side mirror caps, your LED lighting, of course, built into that. You'll notice that roof rack, the Weston roof rack system, you're gonna be able to load that thing up and take this on an adventure that not many other vehicles will be able to follow you. On top of the front stamped steel bumper, we have deviate side steps. And what I like about these side steps is not only are they good for getting in and out, and they got this really grippy texture here, they're also rock sliders. So it's gonna protect your frame as you're doing your rock crawling or your Baja running. That's the thing that's great about a Bronco Raptor. It could do both. How do I know? Because I've done both with the Bronco Raptor. Working our way towards the rear, I think doing a little bit of graphics was very, very smart. And I love the way they did like a topography map. So it actually starts on the lower portion of the doors and then spills into the rear fender area of the back of this Bronco Raptor, just to give it a little extra kind of special touch rather than it just being all plain black. Lori will swing on in. You can see the rear suspension, that Fox live valve technology, looking good with the bright orange stamped steel frame, of course. And then as we get to the rear, I got a little bit of a surprise at the end I can't wait to show you. So love the updated taillights. I'm gonna say it again, all LED. All the lighting on this is LED. You got that blacked out Bronco there. And then we have a mounted fuel piston wheel with the 37-inch tire. It's pretty massive. And then as we work our way down, we have a deviate rear stamped steel bumper. You're still gonna have all your tow accessories to be able to tow with this beast. Look at the massive differential cover with the R badge on it. That looks killer, but obviously to take a better beating with that differential cover. And then my favorite part of this is we have an active AWE switch path exhaust. Nice how high the exhaust exits, so it's not dangling down. You can see all the work on the rear axle and even the rear springs, those silver springs back there with your bump stops and everything. Perfect to do your off-roading. But wait until you hear the sound of this particular Bronco Raptor. But now it's your turn. Let me know what you think about the exterior. Why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about what's going on underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. You'll notice all the openings underneath the underside of the hood. That's for those heat extractors. I love the Ford Performance badge there. And then working our way down, that mess of spaghetti style tubes, hoses, and wires is the EcoBoost power plant. So what are we looking at? We're looking at that twin turbo V6, 418 horsepower, 440 pound-feet of torque. That's stock. 10-speed automatic is what it's bolted to. In stock form, 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, and the vehicle weighs around 6,000 pounds. We got the catback exhaust. You got the Ford Performance power pack to get a little bit of extra power. And then we also have, you'll notice at the back of the engine compartment, the Ford Performance air oil separator. That's really important for turbocharged or supercharged engines to kind of help with the longevity of the power plant. And then don't forget, like I said, we have the iBach Pro lift spring setup on this thing to really allow it to go just about through anything. But why don't we go ahead, not the sexiest looking engine, but I have a feeling you're gonna like the sound. So why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go fire up this Bronco Raptor and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Ford Bronco Raptor with all the mods done by CJ Pony Parts. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want this black beauty. It is amazing. How much is it? Well, MSRP starting for this particular Bronco Raptor is right at $94,000. And then you have the additional cost, of course, of all the modifications. But the nice thing is, Dream Giveaway Garage, you could win this one. But let's see just what has been done to the interior when it comes to modifications. If you're ready, I'm ready. To the door panels. Love the simplicity. The door panel is still totally removable, as always. You'll notice the deviate area, they got rid of the cloth bungee cord bottle holder, and now you could put a proper sub sandwich in there from Jersey Mike's with extra dressing where it's going to be soaking wet and dripping, and it's not going to be just dangling in a cargo net. Quality, solid pieces. Speaking of solid, going from the door panel to the dash, you have these accessory beefed up crap handles for the passenger. It's good for pulling them in, but it's also good for them being able to hold themselves in place while you're going desert running. You got the code orange with the Bronco name, flat silver. On the side, you'll notice more of that custom handle work. Love the way they did the machined cutouts with that, and the rest in black. Slide on in, you're gonna be greeted to the usual 12-inch infotainment system. It's got all the traditional functions of any Bronco and Bronco Raptor, so there's really not much to show in here. Up top, you have all of your capabilities of locking your front diff, your rear diff, all those controls, all by the press of a button. And I like the way that they've actually have a USB-C and a USB-A nicely positioned, especially if you're gonna run any kind of dash cam. It's easy to have that right there. Now, working your way down, you got your start-stop button that's actually designed just like the headlight. It illuminates orange. And then you're gonna have real knobs and buttons. So I love the way you have real audio control knobs. Push that, that's gonna give us our camera out the front. Nice the way that the brush bar does not block the camera. And we have our 360 all the way around as well. So, and then you could, I mean, look at that. That looks really perfect for when you're off-roading so that you know what's in front of you. And then of course you also have panoramic view, which is great as well for when you're off-roading. Dual climate control with the physical knobs. We got heated seats, 3 stages, but no ventilated seats. That oh crap handle for the passenger is nice. Love the way it's got the Ford Performance badge there with the front of a Bronco. Wireless charging, and you got another USB-C and a USB-A. This is gonna control your 10-speed automatic, like the way it's got the Bronco embossed with your code orange stitching. And then, of course, we have the GOAT modes. We're talking about goes over any terrain. Easily select your 4x4. I'll show you the modes when you come to the business side. Raptor key fob, which is a nice touch. You can do remote start. And then all of your window controls and to adjust your mirrors are inboard on the center console because you can remove the doors. Love the stitching, the Raptor name embossed. Open this up. Oh, what do we got going on here? Well, here is your remote. Remember how I told you about those Oracle LED lights? This is your remote. This is not to make a phone call or to change channels on the TV. This is to change all the color options. So you could really go down the road, lighten up everybody's life. We have all sorts of goodies in here. I mean, look at this. Ooh, I like this. What is going on here? Let's see if I can get this out. Oh, got it out. Here we go. So we have our Ford Performance ProCal High Performance Reprogramming Kit. So this has already been installed by CJ Pony Parts to help with extra torque, extra horsepower. Plus, if you ever have a nut you need to remove in your life, somebody who's just driving you crazy, throw this at them. It weighs about maybe a pound, and it'll definitely make them go away from you. But no, in all seriousness, this is to take the lugs, the custom lugs from those fuel wheels. We don't want somebody stealing the wheels and leaving your Bronco on cinder blocks. That wouldn't be fun. With this, it allows you to take the lugs off because you need this to do so. And then, we're not done yet. We have an extra center cap cover for the fuel wheels in case you damage it. And here's something funny. So you see this? You see how this says Sony? This is actually from my last videographer that I used to work with a long time ago that I had to get rid of. And for some reason, he left it in this vehicle. Somehow it wound up getting in this vehicle. But he used to use Sony camera. That's what we use as Sony cameras. And I had to fire him. So I have to send that back to him in the mail. Package all that up. There we go, just like I found it. And then the seats. The nice soft material, the stitching, the Raptor name embossed. Look at the way they did this, almost like Raptor skin. This is what Raptor skin looked like in Jurassic Park. You got your manual seat controls for the passenger, manual seat controls for the driver. You don't have any kind of sunroof, but I got one better for you. You can remove all the roof panels. And then you can see the sun, the clouds, the birds, and everything else. And then for an extra 5 horsepower, you got the code orange seat belts. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Bronco Raptor. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have that Ford Performance badge to welcome you, because this is obviously a Ford Performance vehicle. The zonk is there's no aluminum pedals, and why CJ Pony Parts didn't do anything about that kind of makes me sad. But you do get these all-weather floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You got your manual seat controls. It's really not too terrible. The reason why they do that is because obviously if you had full electric and you're going through a mud pit or something and water comes in, they don't want to damage the electric motors of the seats. I'm 6 feet tall. If you need more room, the good news is the roof comes off, so you could extend way past that. Steering wheel, I love the thickness of the wheel itself. You got all flat black buttons, the Raptor badge looking at you, and then you have those magnesium paddles to go up and down the 10-speed automatic. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with all that information, including what's known as Raptor status. That's where you could change and make your preferences. Plus, you got all the modes, man. Every single one of them. And they're all unique, which makes it extra, extra, extra special. So really cool the way they brought all that technology in for you. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy in this Raptor. All right, guys, back seat time in this Bronco Raptor. You're going to get the same great seat material, very soft and easy to keep clean. I think that's the big plus. Everybody gets a code orange seatbelt, so you're going to be happy all the way around. On the back, you have the Molly set up here where you could hook all sorts of different items instead of having it roll around on the floor. We do have a cargo net, which I'm not going to zonk because this is a Bronco Raptor, but you can put 2 PB&Js back there. And then you do have some power. I got the power. So you have a home power source, and you have a USB-C and a USB-A. And of course, this is for rolling down your windows, sliding down your windows with the controls inboard. 6 feet tall, not even close to the removable roof. This guy right here, this is your puke bag. So when you take somebody off-roading for the first time, you're gonna want this. And what's nice is it's totally washable on the interior. So all those little bits of corn and, you know, whatever they ate for breakfast or for lunch, it'll be perfect for the puke bag. And then you just gotta have them wash it out. I wouldn't wash it out, have them wash it out. But let's get into the cargo area because I want to take you for a ride in this Bronco. All right, guys, time to get into the back cargo area. And I think you're going to like what CJ Pony Parts did with the mods back here. So first of all, we swing it open. You're going to notice the Deviate rear holder here. This is where you could attach all sorts of accessories that you have, different bags, cases, everything that you need. And then we swing on in and you'll notice this wonderful Bronco box that we have. This is a nice lockable safe area. This is where you put your stacks of cash, because, you know, if you're able to mod a Bronco Raptor, you probably have some stacks of cash. So you could put your Rolexes in here, your jewels, your family jewels, which are the most important, and have them locked up in here. Very nice, solid box system. Now it does compromise cargo space, but the good news is that the rear seats do fold down, and you do have some more of that Deviate area here. Actually, this is RTR, excuse me, RTR on this side here where you can make your attachments. There's not another one on the passenger side, but that allows you to have more space for your stuff. You also have your 12-volt back here in case you're at a campsite. And then I do like the way they have the Costco hot dog area here. This is where you're gonna drop in your Costco hot dogs. And just like any other Bronco Raptor, you do have your Ford Performance Extra bracing in the back on the frame of this beast. So nice to see that kind of for protection, but also to stiffen up the rear of the vehicle. But it's about that time. We got the mods. How's it gonna feel? If you're ready, I'm ready. Why don't you go ahead, strap yourself in shotgun, and let's go on throttle in this Bronco Raptor. All right, guys, we're inside this Ford Bronco Raptor. Right away, I mean, you feel in command behind the wheel of this vehicle. It is a beast, and with all the additional mods, really makes it even extra sinister. Now, what's great is that with that AWE exhaust, you are going to have that ability to get extra sound, just like you would out of the standard Bronco Raptor exhaust, but it just makes it sound a little bit better. And you'll see once we go on throttle, especially on the interior, you really, really hear it. I have it in sport mode. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Bronco Raptor sound in what's known as Baja. That's the loudest setting. And if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice, smooth shifts from that 10-speed automatic. And you would be surprised, like, this beast actually drives like a pussycat on the road. Yes, you're gonna get additional road noise. You're getting tons of extra exhaust sound. And everything else on the interior, I can understand why there weren't a lot of mods done to the interior, because the interior of the Bronco Raptor is actually pretty darn good. Brakes are great. You got 13.8-inch rotors up front, 13.2-inch rotors out back. You ready? On throttle, here we go. It just puts a smile on your face. Love all the sounds that EcoBoost makes, that 3-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost. And you notice the downshifts are great. They keep the chassis nice and stable. And the even better news is that I know how good this is going across an open Baja desert, because we were there on the media drive and I was able to make that happen very easily, over 90 miles an hour, no problem, because of that live valve technology with the Fox suspension. Love seeing the hood bulge, the heat extractors. Visibility out back is a little compromised because of the third brake light and the 37-inch tire, but other than that, I mean, side mirrors are great. You got all the safety features that you would want with blind spot monitoring and all those goodies. And then at night, you're gonna light up the road in front of you like you're the freaking USS Enterprise. But you just, for some reason, I just have not seen many modded Bronco Raptors. And I'm really digging it. Really, really digging this vehicle. On throttle, here we go. It's actually pretty darn quick for the type of vehicle that it is. But really where it really shines, of course, is when you're going off-road. That's when you really are able to just, it's a game changer. But those downshifts are great. I love the downshifts. And the Eibach Pro Springs really keep everything nice and level. There's not a ton of nosedive when you get on the brakes. There's not too much body roll. It doesn't pitch too far back when you go on throttle. It's just, it is noisy with the exhaust, no matter what mode you put it in. And it's gonna be noisy with wind and with the road noise, because you have removable doors and roof panels, plus you have those monster size 37-inch off-road spec tires. But it still puts a smile on your face no matter what, man. It's a bad mamma jamma, that's for sure. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of this Bronco Raptor that's been modded by CJ Pony Parts. We're gonna get back to Dream Giveaway Garage and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, always an adventure every time we're at Dream Giveaway Garage. Definitely gotta thank Lori, Chris, Ryan, and the rest of the team getting us access to this black beast, this black beauty beast of a Bronco Raptor with all the mods by CJ Pony Parts. Let me know what you think. Is this the off-road vehicle that you would mod? Would a Bronco Raptor make sense to mod? And do you like the way that this particular one is done? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rides family. Got to give it up to LGR. She loves Broncos, especially ones that have been modded, and she's really loving this one. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.